Welcome to Compai's Expat channel, Everything Expat. Today I'm interviewing Bill Passmore, an interview a long time coming. If you don't know who Bill is, he's a world-renowned underwater photographer who lives down here in Sosua. Bill, welcome to Compai's studio. Thank you for being on Compai's Expat channel. Glad you're here. Like I said in the introduction, it's been a long time. I've been trying to get you in the studio for a while. Bill is super busy. So let's start at the beginning. Who is Bill Passmore? Where is Bill Passmore from?
Well, thanks, John. Thanks for having me here today. That's really appreciated. Yeah, and it's been a while getting in here, but hey, we're here finally. I grew up in Canada. I grew up in Canada a long time ago and learned to scuba dive there. Was in the corporate world for many, many years, 25 or 26 years, and finally retired and ended up moving down here to the Dominican Republic. At that time, I had a little break from diving, but got down here and got right back into it pretty strong about 14 years ago. I'm doing about 250 dives a year since then, and doing a little bit of underwater photography, so here and in a number of other sites around the world. So it's good, John. I really like it.
So what brought you to Sosua? What was the attraction?
Well, that's a good one, actually. The original plan was to search around different Caribbean areas and look for somewhere to retire. And the very first time we came down here, we ended up looking at property, and both houses and condos and empty lots. And we just really liked the people. It was nice, calm, laid back, and we ended up buying a lot and building a house the following year. And 3 years later, so in 2010, we moved down here permanently into the Dominican Republic, and just absolutely love it. Really good.
Hold that thought. Well, Bill and I are neighbors. We live in the same gated community. That's one of the ways that we know each other. But yeah, I love Sosua as well. We came down for. I was, as myself, Bill, I was looking at multiple different islands as well, and I settled on the Dominican Republic, especially Sosua for the North Coast, because it was in my price point. I could use the strength of the American dollar to go farther versus some other islands. Every one of my condos, if you stay in Casa de Compai, you're going to see underwater pictures. Every one of them is this guy. That's all of Bill's photos.
And thank you for that, by the way.
Thank you. You know, one of the things I love about Sosua, it's such a small town. Everybody really who do business down here, we should be working together. And I work in concert with a lot of good people.
That's a very valid point, John. We should be doing business together with everybody. When I first came down here, when I first started to dive, we were looking at, the ocean was a mess. There was garbage everywhere, and there's probably half a dozen dive shops here, more or less, and none of them would work with each other to get things going, to make it better. So I'm the new guy, so it didn't really matter to me, so I just went out and bought and made some posters and said, on such and such a day we're doing an ocean cleanup, come on down and help out. And I kind of forced the dive shops to work together, and it's been really good. It's I think we started to change the concept, change the paradigm there a little bit, and now it's a very cooperative community, and I think that works that way with you too, John.
You know, it has to be. This is a small town. Your reputation walks in the room before you do. I remember, I was thinking, you know, while you were speaking, how did we first meet? We met online. You were constructing domes to grow coral, to bring the coral back.
Oh, that's
right. I
right.
was the first person that bought a dome. I paid for you to build a dome. That's how we met. We met online, and
Yeah.
because it was, you were talking 2014, because
Yeah, be about that.
it was the three storms in the fall of 2017 that wiped them all out.
Yeah.
They were the same storms that changed the structure of Sosua Bay. That's the ones that scooped out all the sand on the Cheremeco side and moved it over to Albate side. That's how we met, and that's when things started working in concert.
Yeah, that's right. I kind of forgot how we met. I was trying to remember that, but yeah, you were actually the first person to support the coral regeneration project here in the bay. So thank you for that. That's good. As you mentioned, those storms did quite a number on it. We had some very good growth. It was going good, but the storms, we had two hurricanes within 2 weeks, and then a monster storm, and that pretty much knocked out most of those domes. There is a new project going now. Manuel has it going, and he's doing a good job. And he's actually managed to put in and get a protected area of the bay recognized by the federal government and policed. So it's really good to see that there's improvements being made here.
You know, that beach is the anchor of Sosua for tourism. And it needs to be improved and upgraded, and they're doing it. Some people are happy about it, some people aren't, but that's a whole nother video. So let's take it one step further. Okay, you came to Sosua, you started the coral rejuvenation project. You got everybody to clean up the bay, but you're really known as the world renowned. I know Bill doesn't like it when I say that, but Bill's photography, his underwater photography, hangs all over Europe. It's in personal private galleries all over the world. So Bill has made his mark in underwater photography. That's saying something, brother.
Yeah,
it really is. It's saying something. Bill's too humble to be like, I'm pretty good at what I do. But when you have somebody that's
you're always learning.
Well, hey, welcome to my YouTube studio.
Yeah.
we just had that
enough.
conversation 20 minutes ago. But do you see Sosua, the Bay of Sosua, being able to rejuvenate more, especially with all the cruise ships coming in and them pushing cruise passengers to Sosua Bay?
That's it's an interesting topic. From when I first started diving here, 13, 14 years ago, the bay was definitely healthier. There was absolutely no doubt about it. There was more coral, more fish. And what happened is there's uncontrolled fishing. There's laws, but there's not enough money to enforce those laws. And besides that, I think the real problem is poverty. These people who are out there fishing, they need that food, and plain and simple. So it's a fine line that's being walked. As the populations of fish decrease, the coral decreases. And then what we've seen is the water temperature over the last 4 or 5 years increase and increase and increase. And that kills the corals. Plain and simple, it just kills corals. It causes coral bleaching, and they die. And it's a problem all over the Caribbean. One of the neat things, though, that has happened here, especially within the last year and a half, is we've started to see the coral improve again. I think there has been more awareness of people respecting the coral, respecting the underwater environment. I'll walk down the beach now, and even down the street, and I'll have Dominican people ask me, "How is our ocean? Is it getting better?" Which is really great. That's awesome. Mm. When I had an exposition here in the gallery here, and we put about 700 children through that exhibit, talking to them about the future and about the coral and about just recycling in our environment in general. And that's where it's got to start. Old guys like me, we're probably not going to change our ways very much. But if we start with the little kids, they will change. They will change. Now, this 6, 8 months ago, we had very high water temperatures in the bay, and the coral bleaching was extremely evident. Whoops. But over the past couple months here, water temperatures are stabilizing again, and you can see the corals coming back. We do see there's been a ban on parrotfish fishing, and we do see more parrotfish now. They're getting larger. That's really good. We see all types of marine life now. And some marine life we're seeing more and more of, which is really good to see. It's quite nice.
That's really encouraging that the youth have embraced we need to protect our environment. And I've been down here 7 years permanently, 14 years, and I've seen the mentality of the Dominicans really change just from throwing trash in the street. The things we take for granted. Conserve water. That's another issue. So I think as future generations come along and the world becoming a smaller place because of YouTube and social media, I see a big change in just the overall mentality.
Yeah, I think that's right. There are some other examples in the Caribbean where that changed a number of years ago, and Bonaire is probably the best example in the world of that. Maybe 20 years ago or so, I'm guessing a little bit on that number, but they created a marine park of the whole island, and then they regulate fishing. And I was in Bonaire about 11 months ago, diving and taking photos, and the marine life is absolutely phenomenal. It's incredible. And the other part about that, the spin-off of that, it's not only, the marine life is great, but what it does is it's drawing people there and bringing money into that economy, in the hotels, in the restaurants, in even the nightlife. It brings people there, which is really, really good. Divers tend to spend a lot of money. They like going out. We like having fun, and it's all good. But the economic benefit of helping the environment, especially nowadays with ecotourism, extends way beyond just the individual business. There's an overflow into all types of businesses. For instance, John, your condos. People come down and they need a place to stay. Yep. And you're right there.
It's all about positive tourism. Yes. And it is a small world online. We've seen cities change their laws to affect tourism and to shut out specific markets of tourism as well. Cartagena just did it this month, and Bonaire is a great example of doing it the correct way. Do you think what the changes that were done in Bonaire can be done here?
Yeah, I think they can. I think it's going to be, I guess it's like anything. You got to take that small step and just keep taking those steps and keep moving it forward. It will be a while. There's absolutely no doubt. However, we've seen this starting to happen now with the marine park in the bay, with the statue, the Atabay statue that's sunk in there. It's bringing more recognition to the area, to the bay. It is creating better environment. People from the cruise ships are now coming to see that stuff. So yeah, I think it can happen. I think it will happen. It's going to take a while. There's no doubt about that. But that's okay. That's okay. We've got to keep moving everything in the right direction. And I think we started that. And with the cooperation of the dive shops and tourism and just all the beach vendors even, it really does make a difference. And yeah, I think it's quite possible.
For me, as a business owner who, this is my home. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon, hopefully. But I've seen Sosua change in a positive direction. I've seen Sosua change from a European town to a predominantly Canadian American town. Now we're going back to a retirement. We're transitioning into a retirement community is what we're doing with all the American vets who are retiring here, and it's specifically the Canadians who are coming down here en masse to retire. So we're seeing it it transitioned away from the week, 2 week tourism town to longer stays. And just this high season alone, we're still in January. The amount of couples and families that are in town, I haven't seen it like this for an easy 10 years.
Yeah, what I've really noticed, very good point, but what I've really noticed is people are coming down here and staying longer every year. They maybe 5 years ago they came down for a week or 2 weeks, and now they're coming down and staying for a month or 2 months or 3 months or all winter. So they really are moving down, and this is now their home. This is my home now. I don't even think of Canada as being my home anymore. This is my home, and I think John the same as you. And,
no, absolutely. No,
yeah.
I have nowhere else to go. No, I haven't, Bill. I haven't been back home to southern New Jersey since March of 2017.
Yeah,
I would
I've
be a
been in New
foreigner in my own
Jersey.
country. Yeah, I love South Jersey, but I love my life here more. So it's good to see the bay is reducing in temperature. It's good to see the local population is being more conscious of their effects on the environment.
Yeah.
It's good to see longer tourism taking place, a positive form of tourism.
That's a very good point. A positive form of tourism. I think we need to think about that. That is really, really important. So very good.
So let's get back to your underwater photography.
Sure.
Because that's the best way to represent the ocean is to bring it into people's homes and people's businesses.
Yeah. And that's basically my goal, is to let people know what life exists out there. America, the band America had a song, and one of the lines in it is the ocean is a desert with its life underground and the perfect disguise above. And that's very true. If you haven't seen it, you look out across the ocean and you don't know what's under there. And through my photography and talking about it and some of the lectures I've given, it's good to let people know that there is life there, and a huge amount of life, an incredible amount of life. So I really try to express that, show the beauty of the ocean and the life there, and it's quite amazing, really, what's underneath there. Yeah, it's good. It's fun.
Good. Even in Sosua, because I've dove Sosua before, and I love it. You got Sosua Bay, and then you have Three Rocks, which is in front of Infinity Blue and Hispaniola. You have the airport wall, which, as the name says, is in front of the airport. You have the Zangria. Am I saying it correctly? Zangara. That's a wreck. So even though Sosua isn't known as one of the mecca diving spots, there's still a lot of places to dive here. There's still things to do.
We've got, there's got to be 22, 23 actual dive sites here.
What?
Plus,
that many?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus the ones that we go exploring. Oh, there's a lot. One of the things that I find, and I've found this for years, is people will go diving somewhere and say, "Oh, there's nothing to see." But I look at that totally differently. I look at it, if you're not seeing something, then you're moving too fast. You're not looking. Too much swimming, not enough looking. There's life everywhere. You can dive in a lake in Alberta, Canada, and you just got to look for different life. And you don't know what you don't know. So once you start showing people the little life and the different forms of life that are in some of the maybe not as pristine areas, then it becomes really interesting again. And we have a lot of small, very interesting life that you can get incredible photos with, and it just shows what does exist in our ocean.
One of my favorite pictures that you took is of a seahorse. When I was diving, the amount of seahorses that I would see were out of this world. So little things like that. I know personally. I know exactly what you're saying, and there's what octopuses, moray eels. That stuff I've saw, and I'm not in the water. I haven't been diving in 3 years.
Yeah, we see there's a lot of octopus, a lot of morays, and a lot of different types of morays as well. That's kind of nice. So you not only have one, you have 4 or 5 different types of morays here. And they're friendly. They're really good. Barracuda, uh, all kinds of marine life. It's really, really nice. One of the most interesting things is almost everything underwater is an animal. Well, there's not a lot of plants. You kind of look at stuff and you think it's plant life, but really they're mostly animals, even the soft corals, the big things that wave. No,
Okay.
there are corals, colony of corals, living little animals. Well, teaching people about that and getting them to understand, we don't touch them. They are a life form. They're alien to us. We're alien to them, and we shouldn't be touching that stuff. We shouldn't be touching anything out there, except for lionfish,
Yeah.
and that's a different issue. The lionfish are an invasive species. They originated in the South Pacific, and they are now invading the Caribbean. And they are voracious. They'll eat, and wipe out a reef in a matter of days. They have no natural predators here in anywhere in the Caribbean, and the only thing that does attack them is humans. So there's an effort going around the whole Caribbean to try to. We're not going to eliminate it, but to control the lionfish population. They're beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful fish, but they don't belong here, and they are wiping out all the native fish. So if we go out and we try to kill the lionfish, and we eat them, they're delicious. So that's kind of a nice part.
Well, well, thank God you can eat them. It gives people
Yeah.
a reason to, other than trying to wipe them out, but another reason to kill them. Well, it's good to hear that there's so many dive spots in Sosua, and things are getting better. What I see is the divers that do come to Sosua, because I get a lot of divers who stay in Casa de Compai. You can come diving here and not have to spend top dollar to come diving, just because Sosua in itself is a more budget friendly vacation destination.
Yes.
So if you're thinking about getting into diving, Sosua Bay is a great place to learn, because even though it looks like it's the open ocean, it's actually a bay because of the reef structure that reduces the strength of the waves. So it's a great place to learn, and you have some really good dive shops that are really good teachers. Then will take their time, and you can get certified here in Sosua through, what is it, the ADA?
Well, there's a number of organizations. Patty,
That's a
uh,
big one.
now ESSI. There's quite a number of organizations that you can get certified through. Myself, I'm a PADI instructor, Professional Association of Dive Instructors. But all the agencies are really good now, and most of them are interchangeable. So if you're certified by one, they will be recognized by another. I think what you want to do is look at one that is worldwide, though, so your certification card will be easily accepted anywhere in the world that you go. So that's probably an important thing. I think, John, you hit it dead on. We have people coming back here year after year after year after year
Mm-hmm.
to dive, and they're bringing their children down to learn how to dive, and it is affordable. It's an affordable place. You can get if When I used to teach, and when we were in Canada, you'd go and you'd have 8 or 10 students in a class. Down here, you are basically working one-on-one, or maybe with 2-on-1 the vast majority of the time. So the instruction quality is very, very personalized, and that's good. That's really, really good. We have excellent conditions out here, like John, you said, in the bay. It's protected area, really good. And we have every type of diving, right from beginner diving, or beginner's a bad word because I love a bunch of the beginner dives, the easier dives, right down to current and to deep wrecks. So it's quite varied. We do have a whole spectrum of diving ability here, and it is affordable and it's nice. You can sit on the beach after your dives. The beach is right there. It's really good. Accommodation is all within walking distance here, really, which is great. So, yeah, when you start thinking about it like that, you don't have to go very far to get everything you want and everything you need to enjoy your vacation, for your family to enjoy their vacation. And it's good. It's real good.
I need to get back in the water. Because most of the time I'll go diving in the morning, and the morning is my absolute busiest time. That's when I do most of my work at Casa de Compai. For me, it would be in the afternoon, and that makes things a little harder. But, it's something that I want to get back into, especially having the Expat channel. That'd be great B-roll footage, because what I'm going to be doing is putting Bill's pictures over top of our conversation. So if you wanted to purchase Bill's prints, there'll be the link in the description below. So there's a lot of things to do here. Diving is absolutely top on the list that I think needs to be more pushed out, because I think most people, when they think of Sosua, it's definitely not diving.
No.
There's other things.
Not that diving anyway.
So, there's other things Sosua is known for, which I would like to see the water activities get pushed more out front. And diving is the premier water activity for Sosua. So,
yeah, that's very true.
I would like to see, and everybody, if you agree with what I'm going to say, put a 1 in the comments down below. Do you want Bill and I to do Sosua marine update, a diving update, once a month, twice a week, talking about the quality of the reef, what's going on in the diving community? Is that something I would like to do it, Bill?
I'd love to do it. I'd love to do it, John.
Then you know what? Let's make a show out of it. Let's do it, because it's Compai's Expat channel. And the reason you have a channel is because you can have shows on that channel. So let's make this happen.
Yeah, perfect.
And let's promote diving in a positive way. Let's promote Sosua's diving, and let's promote Sosua in a positive way.
If you check out my website, and there'll be a link down below to it, you can see the photos. The vast majority of the photos on my website are here from Sosua, right here in the bay, and it gives you a really good indication of what we have here. It's the best diving here in where the hell do we live?
Sosua, the Dominican Republic.
The Dominican Republic. Holy crap! I'm old.
Classic. And I'm not going to edit this out either, Bill.
No,
this is going in.
It's all good, man.
But yeah, all of Bill's information is going to be in the description down below. If you want to purchase his prints, his website, his Instagram. But thank you for watching this episode of Compai's Expat channel. Look for this show to be once a week, and maybe we'll even give it a little name. Wait and see.
And thank you, John, very much for having me here. That's greatly appreciated, buddy.
You make Compai's Expat channel better when I have people who have given so much to Sosua, and I'm able to have you here. It helps everybody, and it's an honor for me, Bill.
Yeah, it does help everybody, and that's good. And glad to be here, and thank you.
Hey, we've been friends for a long time. It's been a long time coming to get Bill in this studio.
Yeah.
But click the like button, subscribe. Thank you for watching. Peace out.